These 5 brawlers aren't that high on tier lists and aren't talked about enough, but they are very good. Starting off, the 5 most underrated brawlers, we have number 5, Pearl. Pearl is an extremely versatile brawler. She's very tanky given her long range and high damage.
Nice.
And her high damage increases with her heat bar that builds up over time, which will affect her regular attack damage or her super damage. Her super is great against any assassins that come to fight you with the damage and knockback. It can also break walls if needed for the occasion. She also has a gadget that does damage over time, which is excellent to secure takedowns or just for vision, and it can even do some anti-healing properties. Vision gear is very effective on her on grassy maps because of multiple projectiles, very similar to Jean. The way her hypercharge affects her super isn't great, but the stat boost from the hypercharge is pretty darn good. Essentially, Pearl is so versatile, she can be played on any mode with the right map. If you haven't given Pearl a try on ladder or ranked, I highly suggest it. She has great matchups against most brawlers in the game. Nani is an excellent underrated brawler. Nani has very long range, very high damage if you land all 3 projectiles, and even if you miss landing all 3 projectiles, you might still do some damage because of the 3 projectile spread. Using your super with the extra damage star power can one-shot a lot of the brawlers. Your super can be great against assassins because, for example, if an Edgar or Mortis jumps or dives onto you, you can auto-aim your super to do a bunch of damage and knock them back. The reflection damage gadget is good against anyone, but it's best against high damage single shots. Most of the time, this is snipers, so the higher the damage, then more is reflected. For example, if you did it on a Dynamite super or a full range Piper shot or a max charged Angelo shot, it would do a ton of damage back. There's even some funny interactions with 2 Nanis using this gadget at the same time and damage bouncing around. Nani's other gadget, the teleport gadget, isn't bad, but I don't really use it unless I'm doing something silly or making a video. Nani's other star power that prevents damage done while she's in her super is not bad, but it's not as good as securing takedowns like her other star power. The hypercharge is not great. It makes the super easier to land, and the stats boosts are pretty good, but it's not a game-changing hypercharge like some of the other brawlers. Nani does best in open, long-range maps like Bounty, Knockout, or Wipeout. Shooting Star has to be the best map. Let's move on to the next one. Number 3 is Jean. Jean is the best brawler for the vision gear. With that many projectiles, you can easily see people in grassy maps. Because the shot is so easy to land, it also prevents healing. Jean has a game-winning super, pulling the gem carrier or pulling someone for a takedown and knockout to make it a 3v2. His knockback gadget is perfect to counter assassins when they jump on him. His other gadget can secure takedowns against snipers or people who keep their distance. One of the best star powers in the game, and it heals teammates, and your teammates don't need to lose positioning or stop attacking to heal. It is fantastic. His hypercharge isn't the best because it's a rare scenario where you'd be able to pull multiple people. Still, the stats boost is very nice. I cannot complain. Belle is one of the most consistently solid brawlers. She has great damage, she has great range, her super is pretty good, and she has a decent hypercharge. One of her gadgets is excellent to damage and slow assassins by placing those mines. The other gadget is excellent to secure a takedown on maps with lots of walls. It can really bounce quite a few times. Her super works best against tanks, but is effective against any brawler. It increases the damage dealt to that brawler by any source. Her auto attack bounces between opponents, preventing them from grouping up. It's great on maps like Hot Zone Ring of Fire when they tend to group up in the middle. It's also great against any spawnables like Mr. P's Penguins, Nita's Bear Bruce, or Terra's Shadows. You get the point. Overall, she's been good in the meta forever, but she's never been the best brawler. People tend to focus on Angelo or Piper as snipers, but Belle is seriously very good. With her great damage, range, and super, she's good in a matchup against anyone. I highly recommend you start playing Belle more. Let's move on to the next one. Cordelius is the most underrated brawler. He's got pretty high damage and he outranges most tanks. His super is one of, if not the best, hypercharge counter. Imagine if Fang activated hypercharge but was put in the Shadow Realm before he could use his super. This would nullify Fang's super and give Cordelius extra movement speed and reload speed as advantages in the Shadow Realm 1v1. If you are playing Brawl Ball and there's one defender left, use your super to put him in the Shadow Realm, giving your team an easy goal. His jump gadget is excellent to engage or escape. He can even throw his super, then jump before the super reaches his opponent to position himself for the Shadow Realm 1v1. His other gadget is mainly used in Showdown to silence and get the drop on an opponent for an easy takedown. Pros seem to alternate between the two star powers. The star power that deals 30% extra damage on the second shot to the same target seems more popular. Very good in heists to do safe damage. His other star power is great to get some healing and potentially poison your opponents. His hypercharge is excellent. Using it on tanks is ideal because the slow allows you to stay out of the range while picking them apart. Cordelius is truly a tremendous, versatile, underrated brawler. Try him out. Those are the 5 most underrated brawlers. Let me know if there's anyone you think I missed or anyone you disagree with. Thank you so much for watching. What topic do you want me to cover next? If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Trolley out.